Hello, everyone, and welcome to another weekly update for Friday, April 23rd. Hope you've had a great week, and as always, thanks for just carving out a little bit of time during today or the weekend just to stay informed. We're just going to touch on our latest COVID numbers, some great news, talk a little bit about vaccination, especially for our students, some things going on with the high school, especially rescheduling of assessments, and just highlighting these young individuals behind me as well. So let's go ahead and get started. With the COVID numbers, good news here in the state of Michigan and Livingston County, we are continuing to see that downward trend from the surge that we've had here in Livingston County. As of this morning, the rate of infection is down to 13.1%. That's significant decrease from last week. We were just about 18%. Starting to see that decrease definitely continued on. That's awesome news. And we're really hopeful that we're on the other end of this from that spring break surge. Hopefully the last surge we're going to have regarding COVID as we continue to just increase the numbers of vaccinations. We're outside getting to the end of the school year. So just a lot of good things happening. And then we've gotten to the worst of it. We're still going to have cases to deal with. We know about that, but just trying to minimize it as much as possible, minimize the impact, quarantining, all that we have to do for the remainder of the school year. So some good news there. Here in Pinckney Community Schools, we did have 11 cases going back to last weekend. 2 of those cases were staff members who are doing well, but were impacted by COVID. The other 9 were students. We had 2 at Farley Hill, 1 at Country. We had 3 at the high school, and then 5 at Navigator. And what we're seeing with our students, we're seeing transmissions, not in our athletic program, but athletics outside. There are travel baseball, travel softball, just different events going on. We have people who are traveling throughout the state, sharing rides, things of that sort. And we're seeing some transmissions in those types of instances. Also, just big families. I mentioned it that when a family member is getting COVID, that we're seeing it kind of just make its way through the whole family. And, we have a lot of great big families here in this community. Mine's one of them. And, when somebody gets sick, it's hard to keep everybody else healthy. And so we're seeing that as well. And we're seeing siblings and multiple folks in the families. And so that's kind of what we're seeing right now. Not seeing any instances of in-school transmission. We're not saying that hasn't happened or it's not possible. We definitely understand that. But with what we know this week, we're definitely not seeing that to be the case. So continue to move down the positive road. We did our middle school athletic testing yesterday. We had 44 middle schoolers get tested. We had 0 positives. That's fantastic news. Continue on with that process. As I speak right now, the high school is in process between 10 and 2 o'clock. The high school student athletes coming in, so I don't have any results on that as well because they're just getting started with that. So in terms of vaccines, we know we're hearing there's a lot of availability now. We're in a good place. I sent out an email just about Meyer and some clinics from the Howell Meyer here in Livingston County, offering some pretty substantial opportunities for people to sign up. And if you have a 16-year-old or older student of Pinckney Community Schools, you can definitely have that opportunity if you so choose to get them vaccinated. And that's with the Pfizer vaccine. Moderna's 18 and over as of right now. And I know some people are on the fence with vaccines, and everybody's got their own personal opinions and beliefs about that. But the one thing I need to share is the advantage of getting the vaccine is hopefully not just staying healthy. The other component is you don't have to quarantine. So after the 2 weeks of getting that second dose of that vaccine, if an instance that happened that somebody you were close to had was positive with COVID, you are then not required to quarantine. And we know quarantine has been very disruptive to classrooms, to homes, to a lot of our lives. I can speak from personal experience this past couple of weeks, even my own family, having quarantine students at home. So this is a bright spot with that, and I think that is going to be something that's going to be really helpful, especially come next school year. Not only with our high school, but I think as the vaccines are made available, hearing the news, possibly moving all the way down to 12 years old and up, at least maybe by the time school starts, is going to be really advantageous for us to sustain and to protect the learning environment, help families at home, with not having to take off work and trying to figure out how they're going to watch their kids. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're on the fence about vaccines. I mean, that's the one advantage is that does help kind of eliminate that need to quarantine after you're fully vaccinated. So just wanted to share that news with you. Obviously, a couple weeks ago, we had to put the pause at the high school. We're getting back in the swings, had a great week there. And next week, we are going to be conducting our rescheduled assessment dates, our SAT and PSAT. So Tuesday the 27th, our 11th graders are going to be coming in and take the SAT test, and our ninth graders are coming in to take the PSAT test on that day. The following day, on Wednesday the 28th, 11th graders will continue with the ACT work keys component of their assessment, and then the 10th graders will then come in and take their PSAT as well. This past week, we had 11th graders take their portion of the NSTEP test. So we're moving forward. Once again, that pause did not hamper anybody's ability to be involved in those assessments. And so kudos once again to Miss Woods and Miss McBride, the entire high school team over there, and the staff to be adaptable and adjusting on the fly and be able to pivot and make sure we sustain those valuable learning experiences and opportunities for our kids at the high school. So speaking of high school, I wanted to recognize 5 just strong academically, just in terms of integrity, valued, and just the overall character of our students, because we have our 5 top SEC all academic team for outstanding academic achievement within the Southeastern Conference, and that's our athletic conference. We're going to be recognized next week at a virtual luncheon. Myself and actually athletic director Brian Wardlow are going to be escorting 5 young ladies to Zuki Lake Tavern, where then we will hook up with Zoom with all the other schools in the SEC and their top 5 as well. Just honoring and just recognizing the achievement of these hardworking and just outstanding individuals. And I'd like to recognize Isabel Howard, who's also our valedictorian, and Isabel is right behind me. So you can see her. She's right over there, right over my shoulder. Next to her is Alexa Newman, who's our salutatorian. She's in the picture shown, and so I have both our valedictorian and salutatorian represented here. So kudos to both of them. But they're also going to be joined by Nyla Griffin and Ethan Amiot and Piper McCullough. So congratulations to Isabel, Alexa, Nyla, Ethan, and Piper, who are going to be representing Pinckney Community Schools next week for the SEC All Academic Team for Outstanding Academic Achievement. So we're going to have further opportunities to recognize our senior scholars, and just we're going to have our scholarship award winners coming up, and just it's a great time to be a part of a school system, to celebrate our seniors, our students who've just accomplished great things, not only this year, but through their entire academic career. So I've been looking forward to that and sharing names and pictures and just things that you may not have the opportunity to be part of because of COVID. We're going to be doing a lot of things differently, but still making sure we're honoring our students appropriately. So I also have just a slide of a young lady. This is Sage Lewis, and Sage is holding a 3.96 pound bass that she caught. And kudos to her, but also just want to recognize, I think, one of the many great opportunities we have, and many of you may not be aware that we have our own bass fishing team. And Miss Lytle from Farley Hill is a teacher there, but also one of our several coaches on the team. And it's just a unique experience, taking advantage of the natural resources we have here. And the team is just growing, and it's just awesome. Came across this on our Pinckney Athletics Facebook page, and just Sage has got the biggest smile there. And it's so awesome to see our students who, despite the challenges this year, despite all the things that we've had to do differently, still having fun, enjoying their experiences, doing the things that they love. And I'm so proud of Pinckney Community Schools. I'm proud of what we've been able to accomplish here in Livingston County. And we've definitely set ourselves apart. And just the emotional well-being. We know it's been tough, and we talked about the mental health aspect, but to see the smiles on our kids and any way we can capture that and just share that, that's just awesome. So kudos to all of them. So there's a lot of great things occurring. Hopefully I can share a little bit each and every week from this point on as we wrap up the school year come June. So that's about it all I have for you. Thank you. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great weekend. Looking forward to finishing up the month of April next week. And we'll be starting May, and we know things just keep clipping along and getting a little bit faster and faster from here on out. But we're definitely at the last leg. The light is at the end of the tunnel. I can see it. I can feel it. I hope you can too. So thank you for being part of our Pirate family. And thanks for once again just spending a little time with me. Take care, everyone, and let's go Pirates.